Thomas Partey, new contract hint, dropped by Fabrizio Romano and the manager of Arsenal, who goes by the names of Mikel Arteta. Ancelotti looks like he's nearing the exit of Real Madrid as its manager in the La Liga and the rest of the competitions they're supposed to be playing in. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share, and continue to subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more we obviously get to where we want to be. And hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are, right? And we're here to bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned, and hope you guys are really having fun. And we are here to discuss this second story of the day, Thomas Partey in particular. Thomas Partey signed for Arsenal in 2020 and he signed a 5-year contract. That means the summer of 2025, he'll see out his contract at Arsenal. And guess what? Mikel Arteta was posed a question to about this, and this is what Arteta really had to say. He said, I already gave an update the other day, and I think it's not for me to give any more information on that. So Arteta the other day came up and obviously told us about Thomas Partey, and he was really positive that they are really coming to a close of a decision on whether to issue Thomas Partey a new contract or not. Remember, Thomas Partey, on his day, he's one of the best CDMs in the world, but obviously, what has gone ahead, obviously, I know very many Arsenal fans all over the world, is what he has on several occasions gone ahead to do. And what is that? Not being a variable each and every time the manager or the club has got ahead, obviously, do the needful. So, the club of Arsenal have gone ahead to obviously try to have the best of the best. And when you look at David Austin, he's saying that it long appeared that Thomas Partey was set to exit Arsenal this summer, but a return to prominency in the side has left Mikel Arteta and the club keen to extend his stay. Partey is happy at Arsenal and his family are enjoying in London. That's what we've gone ahead to get from the side of David Austin. And now, when we hit, when we obviously hit what we call the Fabrizio Romano end, he has told us that Arsenal are prepared to offer Thomas Partey a new deal with different salary structure compared to current one. Thomas Partey assessing all options on the table, with Arsenal now keen on keeping him. Now, Arsenal is keen keeping Thomas Partey, but other suitors like Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Juventus are really pushing hard to see it obviously get in the signature of Thomas Partey into where they want it to be. So, Thomas Partey is one of those that is now very, very much a hot asset, you know, and you might even be shocked that the likes of Real Madrid will obviously coming through because he's a free agent. And what he has gone ahead to do this season is him being fit, you know, and in the Premier League they've played 34 games, has played 31. That is Thomas Partey for you. Champions League, Thomas Partey. In the Champions League, Thomas Partey has played 11 games, and I think they've played, because they played 8 in the group, in the starter, then 4 games, the quarterfinals and round of 16. So those are how many? 15 games. Out of 15 games, they played 4. So, and some of those games, he was really rested by the manager because the manager was like, not really, you don't need to obviously participate in here. And EFL Cup has played 4 games and FA Cup has played 1 game. And I don't think that there is a season for Thomas Partey where he has gone ahead obviously play 47 games a season, right? I think the best he made was 28 games, and he has always gone ahead to be an injury-prone player. And this is where I come out and feel like he's a cheat. For the previous 4 seasons, he couldn't obviously be as fit as has been this season. And my big question has always been, why is it that when, one, the side of Arsenal is not willing to offer him a new contract, that's when he has always gone ahead to keep himself fit, you know? Something that most of you should obviously come up and really understand, that it doesn't come like that, you know? Maybe most of the times, every time he felt something small, he was like, I'm not going to play. But this time, because he knows to it that the only way he can get a new contract is being fit, whether at Arsenal or any other team, because very many top teams were afraid of really signing the player because of him being an injury-prone player. But I think right now, this season has proven to many that he's really good. Now, he has set himself into a proper position of negotiations, because there is no way Arsenal will come up and obviously say, we want to offer Thomas Partey a contract, south of what he has been earning at the club of Arsenal. All what Arsenal has to do is to do the needful and really offer him the amount of money has been earning, that is £200,000 a week. All else, they even increase, because he's going to be having huge offers in there for you. I tell you, a club like Barcelona can come in and tell Partey, you're going to be offering you £500,000 a week. The same applies to Real Madrid. The same applies to PSG, Juventus, because he's coming through as a free agent. And he's like, I've been at Arsenal, tied on a contract, and I've been paid £200,000 a week. Now, if I'm a free agent, why don't you really offer me more? So that's where the negotiations are really going to be. And Fabrizio Romano, 2 days back, he said Arsenal are in discussions with Thomas Partey's camp over a new deal, as Mikel Arteta is keen on keeping him. No agreement yet, but talks ongoing, as Athletic reports. Thomas Partey has also more options available. So, Thomas Partey has everything at its grip, and he's pushing hard to see that everything really goes on as planned for a player in him. So wait and see how that pans out. But I think he's really going to be signing one of the best deals at Arsenal, if at all he stays. If he doesn't really stay, I think he'll try elsewhere. And by the way, going to play in Spain might be a dream for him, because of how slow the league is, and how the intensity is not as high as that in the Premier League. So he might have very many reasons as why he might leave Arsenal. And if I told him Thomas Partey, I have to look down with my wife and family and really come up with the best decision. But it comes in at a time when Arsenal is going to be playing the Champions League. And there is someone who told me that maybe Arsenal is trying to communicate positive news to Thomas Partey that we have our plans, so please help us win the Champions League. And maybe they might obviously throw him under the bus. But I trust Fabrizio Romano, I trust David Austin. When they say something, it has a 99.9 chances of happening. So, Thomas Partey is one of those that we've gone ahead to really discuss on today. And I think he is one of those that has been really that was really pivotal into Arsenal knocking out Real Madrid. So, Partey for you. And here we come to see to it that we get into another story. So, the other one is all about Carlo Ancelotti playing Barcelona in the Copa del Rey final. And I tell you what, if he doesn't beat Barcelona, then I think that might be the end of him, because he won't be left with any trophy to play in and really contest. You understand? So, as it comes in here at the Rokani Media Football, I think Barcelona has a chance to really beat Real Madrid, and this manager might not even have a job in the next 2 or 3 days to come. But as Madrid might be thinking of really sacking him, guess what happens? Fabrizio Romano has come out that Brazil insists to have Carlo Ancelotti as new head coach. They want it to happen before the World Cup. Federation emissaries in Madrid for days to approach Carlo Ancelotti's camp, staying also next week to accelerate. Ancelotti can really leave Real Madrid as reported. Now, for Real Madrid, I think if you cannot win the La Liga or the Champions League, there is no reason they can hinge on to obviously keep you around at their club. What they have to do is they have to obviously show you what we call the exit door. But I think the biggest winner of all this should be Brazil. And I know very many Brazilian fans were like, let Arsenal knock out Real Madrid, such that Carlo Ancelotti doesn't really get another term in there for you. But he's a very good manager, though this season things never went on well as planned. So I call upon for your reactions into the comment section bit about Thomas Partey, new contract. 99, I think 90% loading at Arsenal. Then what do you make about Carlo Ancelotti, who is yet to obviously be sacked by the side of Real Madrid, and he is really gonna come in through and see whether he obviously goes for Brazil. If I do goes for Brazil, do you think I'd obviously change a lot? For my case, I think he can. I don't know what your thoughts are about it. I'm out. Bye-bye.